let's not, forget about the facts and the math getting in the way, right? Like, again, for the Cavs to win, and, it is possible. LeBron will had to have had one of the greatest finals performances in the history of the league. I just don't think it's likely. Because he'd have to do that against the best defensive team in the league from wire to wire. Cavs fans trying to tell me, oh, they're the best defense in the playoffs. Okay, great. I know that we can do the adjusted net rating as far as the competition goes. I think that they're much better defensively with this particular unit than they would ever be with Kevin Love and Kyrie out there for the majority of the minutes. But Kyrie, to me, is still a huge liability on defense, even when he's healthy, let alone now. So if Kyrie's going to play minutes, that defense isn't as stout as you think it is. That defense is good when JR and Iman and Tristan and LeBron and Mozgov are out there. But when you put Kyrie, they become vulnerable. And those are facts. Like that's not opinion. That's not hyperbole. Those are facts. One thing I also don't agree with is PJ Carlissimo, ESPN NBA analyst, who I love. He seems to subscribe to the theory that if Golden State loses Game 1, they are in some trouble.
I think it's more important for Golden State because they're playing at home. The last thing they want to do is give up the home court advantage in the opening game. The first game in the finals, to me, is still a feeling out process because you have teams from two different conferences that don't really know each other. Cleveland comes in here looking to get a split. Golden State has to hold serve.
We've seen teams get a split and still, lose one game at home, even if it's the first game, and go on to win the series. So, look, I get where PJ's coming from, but again, none of that is unprecedented. I almost want the Cavs to win tonight so everyone can get in I told you so mode, and then the Warriors end up still winning in 6. I almost want that to happen because I just know what the reaction is going to be. It actually makes for a better show tomorrow, to be quite honest with you, if the Cavs do win. But keep those tweets coming. Surprise someone special with a gift just because from 1-800-Flowers.com. Go to 1-800-Flowers.com/ESPN for exclusive offers. And again, you can hit us on the 1-800-Flowers.com Twitter feed at Sedano ESPN. Because, look, remember last year, the Heat should have won the first 2 games if, LeBron got the cramp and all that happened in the first game with the air conditioner and whatever. And they came back 1-1, and we thought that was a 7-game series, and it was over in 5. So it can absolutely happen. The Bulls lost Game 1 against the Lakers in their first trip and then won 4 straight, too. So it can happen. Let's go to Nick in Denver to kick it off. Hello, Nick.
Hey, George. Thanks for taking my call. Love the show.
Thank you.
Just in response to the point that you talked about earlier that Michael Wilbon made, that there's going to be a shock and awe factor that, Steph and Clay and the Warriors might go through. But who's to say that they need to make the finals? Last year they went through 7 grueling games with the Clippers and lost. 2 years ago, had a great series with the Spurs and lost. And that's the kind of experience that I think you need, not necessarily in the finals, but just those growing pains just from the playoffs. Thanks.
Yeah, again, I just think that we try to predetermine things all the time. Like, hey, well, this is the way it's always been, so that's the way it's got to be. Well, the league is kind of changing a little bit. And LeBron is great. No one is denying that he is the greatest player on the planet. And again, the reason that you give them any shot, even a puncher's chance, even someone like me who doesn't think that they can win, I give them at least a puncher's chance because they have the best player. Andy's in Ohio. What's up, Andy?
Hey, twofold. This is my opinion. The Cavs have a little bit better of a chance than what you're giving them. Number one, the Golden State Warriors, no disrespect to Draymond Green. He's an excellent defender, but he is not Kawhi Leonard. He is not Jimmy Butler. I just don't think he's going to be able to handle LeBron's size.
He's not. I for a second and then go. And they've done that already in this postseason. You know, everyone talks about the rebounding edge and the front line of Cleveland. Are we really going to compare Cleveland's front line of Mozgov and Tristan to Gasol and Randolph? Are we really going to do that? Granted, Cleveland is more potent offensively than Memphis is, but those two guys on the perimeter, but those two guys can at least score at will. Zach Randolph and Marcus Gasol. That's not necessarily the case with Mozgov and Tristan. Chris is in Michigan. What's up, Chris?
Hey, how's it going, George? Thank you very much for taking my call. Just wanted to make the point that the matchup with blue-collar Draymond Green and Superman LeBron James is going to be, I think, the key matchup. Draymond's defensive skills, not just inside, but on the perimeter, are so solid, and he demonstrated that against Houston. And he is one of those who grinded out guys, and I'm really excited to see him put LeBron.
7 minutes and 30 seconds. Bragg Boulevard to Ramsey Street. 295 is open.